It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
This is the latest one yet, and this was almost the streak ender, I think, today. It is Sunday, the 9th of August, and it is 1:50 when I'm recording this in the afternoon. I don't think I've ever recorded one in the afternoon yet on the streak, but it continues. I really don't want to be recording right now. I want to be doing other stuff, but I want to keep the streak alive. I want to keep this goal intact. Okay, I'm going to talk about an event my wife and I did last night that I think every city should embrace. I want to praise the one that's here, and I have a note for the version of it here in Lexington that I hope that it gets into the hands of someone who's in charge. A Midsummer Nights Run. If you are somebody who works for a Midsummer Nights Run, at the end of the podcast, second half of the podcast, I've got a note for you that needs to happen. Thank you for listening. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Before we get into that, though, I'm nerding out for just 1 second. Jeremy, I'm listening to your advice, and we'll see how it goes. One of the things I have been obsessed with lately, there's two things. They've combined forces into some stuff I'm obsessed with. Maximum nerd, maximum sports have combined in my life this week, and holy smokes, I'm in a deep, dark place. It's good, but it's just, holy cow. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I love the Seattle Seahawks. How do those two combine? No, not like when the Kansas City Chiefs posted their video of them playing Dungeons and Dragons. No. This is something different. I've got the game I run every Tuesday night, and what we do is we meet in person, we meet a person, and part of that experience, part of that game is battles. You fight things. So the people at my table fight against creatures that I throw at them. And what I've done, I've got a 3D printer. I've started printing off. For those of you watching the video, I've started printing off a bunch of these like little miniature figures of things. Like here's a sorcerer. Here's a skeleton guy with a shield and a sword. So you print these off, and then when you're fighting, you put them on this board, and so everyone can see where the bad guys are and position themselves and try to strategically have the battle. Whatever. It's very fun. I love it. So I've been doing that. Well, I've added something. Jeremy, shout out to you. I've been trying to get into painting them, and so it's just. More for me than for anything. It's just something that there's the art part of it. When I was doing my drawing for a while, there is something that lets you just escape for a little bit into a different part of your brain and just get into something. And so when I was drawing and trying to teach myself to draw, which I was terrible at, I would draw and I would just disappear. Or I'd listen to some music and just disappear into that. And so this is the same kind of thing, but with painting. So you paint them. I get a little setup downstairs, and I've got some paints, and I'll try to paint these things. They're so bad. It looks like a tiny child did it, but I enjoy doing it, and it's relaxing. But what I've been doing as the worlds collide, Hard Knocks Seahawks has ramped me into Seattle Seahawk mode in a dangerous way. So when I was doing my sports radio show for a number of years, I was overly obsessed with the Seahawks to the point where it was kind of a bad thing. And I took a moment to in my life. This would have been in like 2011 and then maybe again in like 2016, where I thought, this is taking up too much of my brain space. I think about it too much. I'm overly obsessed with it. And so I just took a beat to try to reset and enjoy it more and get less obsessive with it. And so I did that for a number of years where I would still I love the Seahawks. I don't miss games. I still read a bunch of articles, but when I'm telling you I was obsessed with it, I was seeking out anyone who wrote or talked about the Seahawks, and I was listening to it. So whether that was Seahawks people themselves covering the team, and then if I couldn't, I'd go to, they're playing against the Cardinals this weekend. I'm going to go to the Arizona Cardinals posts, and I'm going to read their stuff. It was too much, but I love them. Hard Knocks has sort of relit that spark. So what I've been doing late at night is I will get my little painting set up, and then I'm firing up any single bit of content I can find on the Seahawks, and I am consuming it. I am just a sponge for as much knowledge as I can get for the Seahawks as I am getting geared up for the season. So I wish I had done it last year when they won the Super Bowl. Odds of them winning the Super Bowl this year are not the greatest, right? It's not like they come back this super team, but I'm going to know more about this team than I have in a very, very long time. And I'm very excited about it. So that's kind of where I've been. But I say all that to say, Jeremy, right now, this part of the podcast is for Jeremy only. I went out with my primer spray paint. I've been painting these minis, and I haven't liked how they've been turning out. They look like a 3-year-old did them. Still work, but they don't look great. So I've now gone another step. I'm spraying a primer paint on them, and we're going to see tonight when I dive into. I think I've got a Seahawkers. Do I have a Seahawkers podcast to listen to? Seahawkers. When was their last one? I feel like I had a Seahawkers podcast to listen to. Now I can't find it. This is my favorite part of the podcast where we Google. Please tell me I have one. Here we go. Their latest podcast. I can't open it fast enough. Oh, 4 days ago. This is the one I watched. Doggone it. I thought they had a new one for some reason, but the last one they had was the doggone. Okay, well, I'll find something. Seahawks. Watch that. See how these go. And that's the nerd part. Okay, so there you go. We got the nerd part of the podcast out today. I'm in love with the Seahawks, and I'm in love with painting my little figurines. And so that's where I'm at right now at my nights. If you wonder what I do at nights now, once upon a time, I was going and I was hanging out with the boys and we were getting into trouble and doing all sorts of things. Now I'm a hermit in the basement, just sitting at my table with my lights on, ignoring everything else in the world and learning about the Seahawks and painting my characters who are going to battle next week. Okay, Midsummer Nights Run. Let's talk about this. Man, I love community events, period. I want to start with that. So the things I want to get out here is I love community events, and I love a Midsummer Nights Run here in Lexington, a 3K that happens, 5K, that happens in Lexington around this time every year. And I think it's a wonderful event. I'm going to promote it dearly. I want to get out in front of that by saying I'm going to start the conversation off with the thing I think needs to be fixed. But this is not me just coming in here being like the Midsummer Nights Run sucks. I'm on the exact opposite page. I love it. I'm already excited for next year. There's just a huge, huge opportunity that is not being capitalized, and Lexington is missing the ball on this. And the reason I know about it is because I was spoiled rotten growing up in Spokane, Washington. Spokane, Washington is the mecca for community events. They have the two biggest ones. They've got Bloomsday, which is a 12K, one of the biggest 12Ks in the world. But what I would say is it is the most fun 12K in the world. And we'll talk about that in a second. The other big event, of course, is Hoop Fest. Hoop Fest is huge, and it's the largest 3-on-3 tournament in the world where they shut down downtown Spokane and run 3-on-3 basketball for a weekend. It's amazing, next level. I think they still do Spike and Dig, a big beach volleyball tournament. Like, Spokane is the mecca for events. But what Spokane does and what they have taught me and what other cities don't do is Spokane has made it very clear these community events have a huge focus on fun. And what that does is it changes everything about the event and it makes it exponentially better. So for Hoop Fest, for instance, I am on the side of things. I am very serious about my basketball. And so when I go to play Hoop Fest, I sign up to play in the competitive league. And I want to work hard and play against other guys who are working hard. And we try to show up what we've accomplished in staying good at basketball over the years, right? We want high-level competition. But with Hoop Fest, it trickles down to, I haven't dribbled a basketball in 1 million years. I want to wear a goofy uniform, maybe even a costume, and I want to go out on the court, and I want to play against other people who have never played, and we just want to, maybe our game, we're in our 20s, and our game to 20 by ones and twos might end up with a final score of 3-1. But that's what Hoop Fest does and embraces it. They give you the level of high competition, but then they make sure they give you a lot of the levels below that of moderate fun to just as casual as can be. And it's super important because it makes that event a lot more fun because it's a lot more inviting. It rules. And the other big one, and they do it even better, is Bloomsday, the 12K run in Spokane, Washington, where you, of course, have, man, this, like, I think there was the maximum 64,000 people ran this in the 90s for one time. Bloomsday 2026 numbers. Let's see if we can get the numbers from this year. So, okay, on May 3rd, 2026, 43,000 people did Bloomsday 2026. Okay. It's 43,000. There's probably 2,000, maybe 1,000 to 5,000 people. I'd say more like 2,000 who did a Midsummer Nights Run last night. Okay. So here's what's important about this. Of those 43,000, I would say, man, 20%, maybe 15% of those people are going to go do Bloomsday to truly push themselves and try to show out as the greatest runner in the Spokane area or larger, even bigger. The people who run for the big dogs, the Reed Buchanan who ran this year 34 minutes, 30 seconds, ran a 12K in 34 minutes. There's probably 15 to 20% of the participants are doing that. And then the other 80% are what make Bloomsday the greatest community event. They are there to jog it, walk it. They are there to dress up in whatever weird gear. They are there to go with their group of friends who treat it like Halloween, and they're there to just maybe sneak a drink. They're there to have so much fun just walking the course and being part of a huge community event. And they go through the whole thing, and then after it's done, everyone goes downtown and goes out. And, the elite people probably go die somewhere in a hotel or their house. And then the rest of us would go out for mimosas. You go out to eat. You do this, and you just turn the day into a fun day. And that's what made Bloomsday great, is that you had these high-level competitors, but you had the majority of people truly there just to have fun or do a jog, push themselves a little bit. A Midsummer Nights Run, and the issue they have, and I'll get to the good stuff, it's too much tryhards. It's too much people who everyone there wants to try to run it and beat somebody. And they're there to prove something, which is great. I think that Bloomsday has a ton of those. Bloomsday has more people that run Bloomsday like that than all the people who run Midsummer Nights Run. But that's the one thing with this event that I wish that they could tie into in their marketing and sales pitch for next year is you're going to get the runners. It's no doubt about it. You don't need to worry about that. You are going to get the people who are running the race. You need to get the people who are just willing to walk it, want to have a good time, and go out to your places to eat afterwards. And that's where the marketing needs to go next year, to really take this thing to another level and to start to grow it into something that becomes a huge city tradition. So there you go. Freebie for you, downtown Lexington, or whoever runs this event. There's a freebie. Make this event enormous. Get it to over... I need to see how many people ran Midsummer's Night Run 2026, Lexington. All right, how many people ran it? I did not run well, just so you know. I got absolutely whooped by my wife. I mean, whooped. She beat me by 4 minutes. I would have got beat by the guy who ran the 12K, I think. I think I was about 34 minutes. That guy ran a 12K in 34 minutes. I ran a 5K in 34 minutes. I can't find the numbers. I know they're there somewhere, but I wish I could just get them. I wish I could stinking get them. Let me see if I add this in there. If this will change it. Gosh, I just want to know how many people ran your event at Midsummer Nights Run. I just want to know how many people ran your event. Okay, whatever. So, that's the thing I need to have marketed. One thing, though, that Midsummer Nights Run does extremely well, I want to give them some love for. Bloomsday is ran in the morning. I'm sure it's a weather thing. And, it's a 12K, so it takes a long time for some people. The beauty of a Midsummer Nights Run 5K, it starts at 7:30. So you do this in the evening, and you run this thing at night, and then when you're done, it was so fun. My wife and I ran it and just went. There's so many restaurants in downtown. You're running through downtown Lexington. Right after, we went to dinner. We went to this Mexican restaurant. It was awesome. We got some margaritas, got some street tacos, and it was just the perfect thing. I was dying because I haven't run in forever. Last year, I was in really good shape last summer. This summer, I'm in the exact opposite. So last summer, I ran it pretty well. This summer, I was dying. Had to walk a bunch this summer. Last summer, I didn't need to walk at all. Dying. But we got done. I was exhausted, but you feel the sense of accomplishment. We did it, and it's fun, and you've got you're like, is it dopamine where you're fired up? And we walked around for a second and saw other people who were walking around, people smiling because they finished. And then you go get some food, get some drinks. It is awesome. It is awesome. I love the night run. I don't know if that works for Bloomsday or a lot of other big races because you're going to take 3-4 hours for some people who are just really taking their time. But what I would say is, maybe not for Bloomsday, I think every city needs to try to get this. Like Midsummer Nights Run has something going that's special where the night run, the big 5K night run, should be something that every city should incorporate through your downtown. It is great. And the other thing is, while you're running through downtown, and like I'm taking in scenes thinking, oh, we should go to dinner there sometime. Oh, that park looks cool for the kids. Oh, we haven't been downtown in a while. This is kind of a cool area. So you also get to show off your downtown if you throw one of these together. And like I said, you do it at nighttime, so when you're done, everyone's going out to eat. You're going to go to your local businesses in the area. The nighttime 5K is a really cool thing. I was very disappointed in the amount of people that did it. I know a lot of people in Lexington. I think I only heard of one person that I really knew of who did it. And again, they ran it in 23 minutes. They were there to try to do it as fast as possible, which is great. That's great. But where are just the people who want to go have a good time with the community? It just irked me that wasn't there. I have talked about this for too long. My wife smoked me. I got beat. Maybe next year. I'll be 45 next year. I probably will hardly be able to walk. Will I be able to run? I don't know. We're going to find out. Very fun event. Shame on Uncle Mike. Uncle Mike didn't come out to it, didn't do it. Uncle Mike was doing nothing else, and I probably should have told him to sign up. Josh, TJ, where were you guys? Why weren't you there? Also a cool family event. If you can't find, like we had someone to watch our kids. If you can't find someone to watch the kids, they have a lot of kids stuff going on, a lot of kids running it. I can't get enough. I love these kind of things. I love community events. I wish Lexington, if I had any kind of brain, I would try to start a Hoop Fest in Lexington. This is a baseball city, I've realized. No, I'm sorry. This is a child city. This city is built on children activities. I don't know that there is enough grown-ups who still do stuff to make a Hoop Fest work. But if there was, man, I would love to try to get a Hoop Fest in Lexington. Oh my gosh, I would love that. I think it would just be so cool. Again, the downtown here reminds me a lot of what Spokane has going for it. And I just think, gosh, that would be cool. All right, that's all I got for you today. I thought this was going to be a 2-minute podcast. It's way too long, and I only talked about 2 things, which means I'm boring.